Hey guys, I kind of felt the need for some reason to post up a video talking about young marriages. So, here's the video. There's no written way of saying it, there's nothing. It's really just you guys and me. Now, I got married pretty young. I got married when I was 18. My husband is, I believe 6 years older than me. I really don't remember right now. Sorry, I feel like I have stuff on my nose. And it wasn't the easiest journey. So if you're wondering, or if you're curious about getting married young, if you have the idea about getting married young, it's not easy. It's not easy getting married young. We got married young. Oh, I got married young. He's not that young. But I got married young, and it was a lot more difficult for me to adjust, to kind of put away, in a way, my childish behavior, not my childhood, but certain childhood qualities, put them to the side and realize, okay, I took the decision to be a grown-up, so now I have to act like that. And it was really like an out of nowhere thing. I mean, he proposed one day and 2 days later I was married. You get me? But our circumstances were very different, and I had already mentioned that in one of my All About Me videos. And if you want to see more about that, about my testimony, about who I am, you can definitely look it up in my All About Me video. I'll link it somewhere down below in the description. But I always get a whole bunch of young girls, 16, 17-year-olds, always asking me, what it was like being married young. Would I do it over again? And the answer is, I don't know. I love my husband, don't get me wrong. But I do believe that there were ways to do things differently. I do believe that there was nothing wrong with waiting. There was nothing wrong with waiting to get to know someone better. Waiting to get to know yourself better. And I think that's the most key part. Before you get married, you need to know who you are. Girl, guy, you need to know who you are in God. Like, every person that is here has a purpose. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. But if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your identity, most of all, you can't go with a guy, you can't go with a girl expecting to find your purpose, your identity in that person. You need to find out who you are before you do that. And I think that was my mistake in the beginning. I remember being not freaked out, but when we did the transition and I moved out of my place into our home with my husband, he was there for like a week without me because I just couldn't find it in me to leave my house, to leave my mother. And when I arrived there, we had nothing, guys, nothing. I went to a Dollar Tree store. I remember, because you start from the bottom and you get better, but I remember I went and I bought 4 plates and 4 cups and 4 coffee cups also, and 4 bowls and some spoons and forks and knives. And legitimately, that was all I had. When we moved in, we were just sitting down in the living room, or whatever we had that was kind of a living room. And I remember that we were there and he looked at me, he's like, I'm hungry. I was like, yeah, me too. And for some reason, I don't know why it hadn't clicked yet that, now that's my responsibility. I'm the one who has to cook. Don't get me wrong, okay, guys? If you know how to cook, go ahead and do it. If your girl don't know how to cook, well, then you better go get her some cooking classes, make her watch some YouTube videos. I just remembered, I'm like, oh wait, my mom's not gonna cook now. There is no leftovers in the kitchen, in the fridge. I have to cook. I legit made whatever. We only had chicken, some packaged mashed potatoes, so I made that. I think something key important, like I said, one is know who you are. Know your identity before you get with someone. Know that it's gonna come with responsibility. You get me? As for the girls, I can say it was hard for me to learn how to submit to who my husband was. And that is a key thing. No matter what, this is the way that I've always seen it, all right? Yes, I'm all for girl power, definitely, go for it. Don't be fooled. But your husband is your head. Your husband is your authority. You have to listen to your husband. But be wise, you get me? If you're being physically or sexually abused, and it's something that is not, if it is something that you yourself are saying no, and they do not care for, and they ignore that, that is a different story. You have to have your respect. You have to have your identity. And that is why you need to know who you are before you get into a relationship. I would have avoided a whole bunch of problems if I would have known that in the beginning. And that's what I want to avoid. If you're planning on getting married young, it's going to be hard. You're going to get judged. People are going to think you're pregnant first. I'm not joking. But consider this. Do you know who you are? And I don't mean like I'm 18 or my name is this is my social security. No, I mean like, who are you really? What is your temperament? Do you love God? Why are you here in this earth? Why are you in love with this person? Why do you envision a future with this person? What does this person have to add to your future? I think most of all, you should find out who you are in God. What God wants you to do. At least in our church, we have a process that you go through. Minimum age to start dating is 18. And I didn't follow that. And I went through a lot of obstacles. My husband and I always say this. If we could go back, we would do things so differently. Because there is a lot of things that you can avoid simply by waiting, simply by listening to what God wants to do with you first. You know? You have to communicate. Communication is key to so many things. There is ways of talking, okay? There is ways to avoid a fight. At least for us, in our first year of marriage, I think the first year, as they always say, if you survive the first year, but the first year was so hard for us. It was so much just because of communication. We didn't have that. It was more of, he led to his conclusions, I led to my conclusions, and we were both wrong. He was wrong in my eyes, I was wrong in his eyes. Like, it was just bad. In the end, we just ended up hurting each other. So you need to communicate. You need to talk to each other. But that is all about your foundation. What are you building since the beginning? You know? Like when you fight, do you say, it's because you did this wrong or you did this right? Or how do you express yourself? Are you attacking him? Are you attacking her? I think that was one of the biggest things for us. I was a very person that when I felt attacked, I would get you back. You know, that was who I am. That was my character at the time. I was still being molded. But I remember that one day he sat me down and he told me, there is a way of speaking and communicating. If you feel that I've offended you, don't tell me you did this wrong. Tell me, I feel that this and this and this is happening. Make your words say I feel instead of you. If you don't like to be attacked, I'm pretty sure the other person doesn't like to be attacked either. So communicate. It's a very key part. Communicate. Quality time. You need to spend quality time with your family. It's not quantity, how much time. It's what you do with that little time. Like my husband, he's very active. We're both very active in our church. But sometimes we don't have that time. We don't have, and that was our biggest struggle in the beginning of our marriage. That I would see him from my work shift and his work shift. We would see each other's maybe like an hour a day, you know? It was bad. But the mistake that we made is instead of spending it together, we're just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Me too. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna go watch TV. It's our us time. But not that you don't have that, you do. But you need to think about your spouse. Girls, if your spouse likes to play video games, at least that's something that I found. If I know that I have an hour with him and he wants to play video games, he's had a long, stressful day. Okay, I'm not saying that I didn't have one, but if he's having a long, stressful day and it's not gonna kill me to try to play with him, why wouldn't I? Actually, I enjoy it now. Like we stayed up to like 2 a.m. playing before, okay? But try to do something that is in his interest, okay? And hopefully, they will do something that is in your interest as well. It's a give and take. You get me? It's a compromise. You need to be able to compromise if you're going to be in a relationship. But for that, you need to make the best out of what you have. and that means your time. It doesn't matter if you don't have money, okay? There's been moments and where we didn't have cash at all, guys. But at least I didn't want to be stuck in the house. And sometimes he wants to be in the house, you know, but it's a compromise. What did we do last week? Okay, we stayed in and watched a movie. This week, we go out. So we went out and we just went to a park. There's a near park with a pond and ducks. We literally just got a blanket, sat down, just watched it until it got dark. And that was all that we did. We put away our phones and we were just talking. And that is it. This is prior to Nathaniel. But we do it now even with Nathaniel. I have a child now and he's 18 months old and he takes up a lot of our attention. But that doesn't stop us from spending time with each other. Just do something that is just you guys. But I honestly think that the key part here, the key point, is trusting God. Trust God with your finances. Trust God with your marriage. In your marriage, you spend quality time. In your marriage, there's communication. Trust God. When you get to know more of God, you get to know how to do more of these things. So trust God. Trust that God can help you, that God can guide you. So I don't know why I felt to do that today. I just kind of felt like a more personal type of video. You know, on Tuesdays are more of our DIY videos, and that'll definitely be going up still. But today I kind of just felt personal one-on-one conversation. What do you guys think? Do you like these type of videos? Would you like to see more of these type of videos? Hopefully this was helpful to anyone thinking out there to get married, or when's the right time, or etc. Ask me any questions that you want to know, and I'll do my best to try to answer them for you with what I know, at least. So thanks, guys. See ya, and God bless.